Hey there, you're listening to Genoa's Arcs, a self-reflective podcast exploring transformation with purpose, honoring growth and connection through awareness and presence. This is your host, Genoa K. Before we begin, a quick disclaimer. This episode contains reflections on trauma and emotional recovery. It is not intended as a substitute for professional advice. Please trust yourself and seek support as needed from a licensed mental health or healthcare provider. The views expressed are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect those of any guests, sponsors, or platform providers. Welcome to Arc 2, Passage into the Mountain, Beyond the Surface. We don't bypass, we don't perform, we spiral inward. This is episode 10 of Arc 2. It's been a powerful arc, one that didn't ask you to get over it or even get through it. Instead, it invited you to go in, to spiral inward, to descend, to unearth. On this final episode, we're talking about what it means to emerge, not because you forced your way out, but because you excavated your own path, not bypassed, not pushed, processed. Part 1, Spiral into the Soil. I used to think emotional recovery was about climbing, getting stronger, proving I could overcome. But then life cracked me open in ways no mountaintop could fix. I found myself in a tunnel, not a trail. There was no peak, only soil, dust, and the slow turning motion of something breaking up everything I thought I was. Emotional recovery, I learned, isn't a sprint up a summit. It's a spiral into your own underground, a rotation, a digestion of what you've been carrying. Part 2, Unearthing What Matters. Picture one of those tunnel boring machines, massive, slow, rotating deep beneath the surface. It doesn't ram through the earth. It rotates, grinds, pulls earth into its center and moves it slowly, intentionally out the back. That's what this arc has been. Not a breakthrough moment, but a turning, sifting, unearthing, piece by piece, and eventually emergence. Not shiny, not triumphant, but real. You come out still covered in dust, but holding something of value, a piece of yourself you thought was lost. Let's pause here to take a breath. Ask yourself, what did I unearth in this passage? What story did I let go of? What truth came back to me? You don't need a polished answer, just a glimpse, a whisper, a feeling that something in you is a little more honest now. Part 3, Emergence, Dust and All. Look back on this arc. What did your spiral show you? Where did the dust settle? What did you uncover, not just about the pain, but about the strength underneath it? You didn't just make it through. You learned your way through. You felt your way through. You excavated what needed to be seen and carried what mattered forward. That's what emergence really is. Not leaving the pain behind, but integrating what it taught you. Part 4, Closing Reflection. Before we move on, let's pause here for a moment. You went underground. You sat with what was uncomfortable. You turned toward what was unfinished. You let things surface that would have been easier to ignore. That matters. Emergence doesn't always feel dramatic. Sometimes it just feels more steady, less performative. Maybe you don't have the answers. Maybe you're still dusty. But notice this. You're not the same as when you entered. Something has been sifted. Something has been named. Something unnecessary has fallen away. You don't need to prove your growth. Just let yourself feel this subtle shift. The work you did here wasn't loud. It was rotational. It was internal. It was honest. And that kind of work changes you from the inside out. If this arc helped you, if it gave shape to something you didn't know how to name, consider sharing it. Not because it's polished, but because it's honest. We need more stories like that. On the next episode, we begin Arc 3, the third message. This new arc explores what happens when you start to speak your truth out loud, Not for applause, but because silence is no longer an option. You'll discover how to let your voice return after trauma, how honesty can stir discomfort, and how connection becomes its own quiet form of repair. We'll explore the small human moments where real presence matters most, the messages that say, "I see you," without expectation or performance. Until next time, take good care. This space is supported by listener contributions and occasional sponsors. If you found value in today's episode and would like to help sustain this work, you'll find ways to do so in the show notes. It's always optional and deeply appreciated. Thank you for helping keep this space sustainable. Genoa's Arcs is written, recorded, and produced by Genoa K. Original music composed and produced by Genoa K.